Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started now, only because it's Sunday and I don't want to keep you guys all Sunday in case you guys have stuff that you want to do. So, thank you guys for joining us. I see a lot of old faces, but I see a lot of new faces too. So, on that note, I'll go ahead and just introduce myself. My name is Lisa Alonso. I am a triple diamond with the company. I have been with the company for 4 years, and hold on, there we go. Okay. You can see my one over there. I was going to show you. That's why I had it. But hold on.
She wants to undo her headset.
Okay, I think I muted everybody. Okay. If for whatever reason you end up coming off of mute, just go ahead and click the mute button so then it doesn't get like distracting or anything. Okay. So I've been with the company for 3 years, or 4 years, I'm sorry. I initially joined to make an extra stay-at-home mom. And I did hair on the side. I had a little online boutique that sold baby headbands just to try and make any kind of extra money that I could possibly make, because financially we were not doing too good. You know, my husband worked about 50 to 60 hours a week and we still couldn't make enough money to pay our bills, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that, because that's probably the reason why you joined. In the beginning, I was totally, when this opportunity fell into my lap, I wanted nothing to do with it whatsoever. I wanted to try the products and I tried to wrap. And other than that, I literally didn't want anything to do with the business side, only because I had never sales a day in my life. I was super it was so new to me. You know what I mean? Like, I went to beauty school. That's pretty much all that I knew. And I was a server before. Other than that, I didn't know anything about network marketing or about sales or none of that. So I was absolutely terrified. It came to a point where I was going to have to either go back to work, or my husband was talking about getting a second job. And he worked all day long as it was. So him getting a second job was kind of like a death sentence to me, you know? Like, I married him because I wanted to see him and be with him and we love each other. And him working 60 hours a week plus getting a second job on top of that would only have a lot of strain on our marriage. So I figured, what the heck? My husband really wanted me to do it. He thought that I could do something with it, you know, so I jumped in and joined. I didn't do anything for 2 months, for the first 2 months of this business, other than sign up my 4 loyal customers to get my product credit. I messaged my mom, I messaged my sister-in-law, and I messaged my best friend and another friend that was kind of like a casual coworker. And all 4 of them signed up. I just pulled the favor card and I was like, you know, I'm doing this. I'm super excited about it, only because we're not doing so financially. Like, if you could help me out and test the product, I would love to use your before and afters as, you know, a product testimony. My friends and family, they were like, okay, sure. So I totally pulled the favor card.
Can you mute everybody, because you're cutting in and out, because there's a lot of background noise.
Hold on.
Sorry, Lisa.
No, it's okay. I forget how to like mute everybody. What is it? I'm trying to figure out what it says.
If everybody can just go to their... Oh, you found it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. We should be good now. I have the little mute button right here now, so I can just click it.
I'm doing an online meeting right now.
Or just kidding, I guess I didn't know. Hold on. See, it says that it mutes them once they get on, which I don't know why they get muted. But, okay, back to where we were before, which I already forgot. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Okay. So I didn't do anything for the first 2 months because I didn't really know what to do. I was pretty much driven by fear and nothing else. I was scared. I didn't know. I had done the training and I had done, you know, the videos that my sponsor told me to watch and this, that, and the other, but I was still scared. You know, it was so new to me. I didn't know what to do. So 2 months in, I went to this meeting. My sponsor told me to get to this meeting. She wasn't even going to be there, so I was pretty much going by myself. I didn't know anybody there, but I went. I was scared, but I went. And I'm a super introverted person, so I was so nervous to go. because I didn't know anybody there. So I sat in the very back of the room. Literally, my chair was up against the wall in this like huge hotel ballroom, and I was in the very, very back. And it was literally that day that completely changed my whole entire business. So I remember there was just success story after success story, and it was just so many different people from different walks of life. They looked different, they acted different, they came from different backgrounds. Some of them didn't even graduate high school, some of them had college degrees, and their reason for starting was completely different. It could have been like for more free time if they worked a lot, or to make extra money like I did. It could have started very small, like my goal was to make $200. Others joined because they envisioned themselves living this life that their job wasn't going to give them. And I just remember sitting there, and I text my husband, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm going to do this. And he was like, you can do it, I believe you. And I was like, no, but I'm really, really going to do this. And I got to work that day, and that day something just clicked. And I just decided that if these people could be successful, like, why can't I? Like, what is so different about them that I don't have? And it was really nothing. There were so many different people. And that's what I love about this business too, is not a single person looks the same, acts the same, talks the same, comes from the same background. Everybody is so different, and they've been able to find huge success in this business. So why can't any of us? So it was literally that day that I decided, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, if I invested $99 of our grocery money into this business, I'm going to do it to the best of my abilities. And because we didn't have that $99 when I initially joined. So I did it, and I just decided that I was going to do what it took to make it happen. And I went executive the month after. I went ruby the month after that. I went emerald 4 months in. I went diamond 7 months in, double diamond 8 months in, and I went triple diamond before my 2-year anniversary, which is, pretty insane. I would have never been able to make 6 figures a year at the salon, even when I worked more than full time. And to think that I did that in less than 2 years is insane. But it just takes finding your why, finding that driving force, and believing in yourself that you can do it. My belief came from seeing all these other people that made it happen, and I just decided I was going to do it. So I'm going to let Daniela take the floor for a little bit and kind of go over her story, and then we'll get started after that.
Hi guys, my name is Daniela. I am a double diamond on this team, and yeah, I'm so excited to have so many new faces on board. So just a little bit background about my story. So I joined this company. My 4 years is actually coming up in September. I joined 2 days after my birthday. And at the time, like prior to joining, I was working a full-time job, actually more than full-time. I feel like more like an overtime job. I worked anywhere from 50 to 60 hours a week. And don't get me wrong, the company that I worked for really took care of me financially. I made really good money there, except that it came with a lot of my time being put into it. I really had no time for my family or my friends. And I don't have kids, so I can't say that I was trying to be home with my kids, but I have, when I say a huge amount of nieces and nephews, I have a huge amount of nieces and nephews, and I just can't get enough of them. And I just was missing out on birthday parties, and I was missing out on vacations, and I just wanted to do so many more things than what I was able to do at my previous job. So anyway, I quit working, and I saved up a little bit of money to kind of like get me through until I find another job. And then I started doing photography on the side. I started playing with that, and that was fun. And then Lisa, and I'm not saying that I signed up right away, because it was definitely like maybe 3 or 4 months of me like bugging her, like, hey, like I was that girl that left her on scene kind of thing. Like I was like, hey, Lisa, I wanna, what is this that you're doing? And then she would respond to me, and then I would leave her on scene for like a month, and then I'd hit her up again. And I mean, she was my best friend, and I would see her every once in a while. I'd kind of pick her brain about it. But finally, after like 3 or 4 months of it, I was like, I'm just gonna give it a try. 2 months. Oh yeah, 2 months, 3 months. I don't know. It felt like a long time. After after I joined her, I literally just started working my business. Like I hadn't tried any of the product. I didn't know if the products were working for me. I knew that they were working on other people, but literally for 3 months after joining, I had already promoted to Rui by this time. I still hadn't tried the product, and I finally knew that I'm good at this. I'm successful at this by just sharing other people's results. I'm gonna have to do this myself. So Lisa finally gifted me one of her wraps because I didn't want to use mine. I wanted to make money because I needed extra money at that moment because again, I was jobless. And so I took money. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that when I started, I did start with using money from my savings account because again, I did not have a job. 6 months after joining, I went diamond, and almost a year later, I went double diamond. And right now I'm currently going for my triple promotion. I'm super excited about it. This is my full-time job. I do this in replacement of my previous full-time job. It's an amazing amount of income I make. I match pretty much what I was making at my full-time job, but I get to do it from home. You know what I'm saying? I get to do it from my phone. Right now, I'm in Vegas in a bathroom on the floor, and I'm working. I took time out of my day to sit down and talk because I can. I just feel like this company is amazing, and I feel like if you're looking for, even just a little bit of extra extra money, like this can do it for you. But if you're looking for like a lifestyle and for it to really just completely change your life, where you can be home and work from wherever you want, then this can also do that for you too. And I mean, it's done so much more to me than I've been able to show. Unfortunately, I'm kind of a private person, but this company has done a lot for me and my family, and I feel like it's an amazing opportunity. And you guys are all on here, so you guys have already taken the first step. You guys are all so new, and we just can't wait to help everybody start making some serious money and succeeding in this business. I feel like you're in the right hands. So I'm excited, and that's all I got right now. Lisa?
Oh, hold on. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I know I unmuted myself. Okay, so on that note, you kind of ended on a really good note because I feel like it just segues into what we're going to talk about next easily. So when it comes to, obviously you guys joined this business, so there was something about this business that pushed you to join. Whatever it may be, chances are that's what we call your why. So when I joined this business, my sponsor told me, you need to find your why, find your why, find your why. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what? And they're like, fine. And it's the reason why you do this business, why you join this business in the first place. Your why is going to change from month to month, from year to year, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But, oh, we have some questions for you already, Daniela. But your month is going to change, or your why is going to change from month to month, from year to year, only because it's going to get bigger. Your goals are going to get bigger. Your dreams are going to get bigger because you're going to start to see what you're really made of and what you're capable of. So when I joined this business, my why was to make $200. My husband worked all the time. There was months where he would go without a day off. And my why was to be able to make $200 just so he could take a day or two off and it not affect us financially. He hated his job at the time, absolutely hated it. Every morning he would talk about it, and it just, it made me sad because obviously he doesn't have any other choice. Like our family's livelihood is resting on his shoulders. The way that we pay our bills is resting on his shoulders. Granted, I still did hair part-time and I still sold headbands, but it was nowhere near enough to cover our monthly expenses. And, it does something to you when you see the person that you love pretty much killing themselves at a job every single day and you still don't have enough money to pay your bills. So that was my why. I was like, if I can give him one day off and I can cover the electricity, or if I can cover half of the electricity, if I can cover the grocery money, the gas money, something, anything, that would be more than enough for me. And I started there. So that was my main goal, $200. If I could make $200, mine was $200 at the end of the year, not even monthly, but I was like, if I can make $200, I will have reached my goal. Well, I did that in my first month because when I joined this business, we had, I think we still have it, a mini booster kit, and it comes with a lot of free products. So I bought that when I joined, and that came with 4 boxes. I think you get 3 boxes of wraps, and then you get a bunch of free product with it. So I sold all of that, and I made, not only did I make the $99 that I invested, I made the money back from the mini booster kit, but I profited $400 in wraps in my first month. So that surpassed my first goal. And I think it was that little light that I was like, okay, I can sell wraps. Like, I don't know if I could do the whole build a team commission part, but I know that I can sell wraps. So that's what I did in the beginning is I sold wraps. I didn't have any distributors on my team, which I was okay with. I mean, I joined for $200. My first month I made $400. So I was like happy as can be. I didn't really look into like what came with like building a team, only because I didn't think that I'd be able to do something like that. I knew that I could sell wraps. So I did that, and I utilized that as much as I possibly could. So I felt like that little bit of that little win, like kind of lit my fire even more to keep going. And after I went to that One Team One Mission that I was telling you guys about earlier, my why just got bigger. It went from wanting to make an extra couple $100 to help pay with bills to be able to, you know, if my husband wants to take a week off from work, then he could take a week off from work regardless if he gets paid or not. So that was my next goal. And then after that, my goal just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I got ballsy and I was like, okay, I want to surpass my husband's full-time income. And my husband has a really good job. He makes a decent amount of money. So I knew that once I went double diamond, I would be making maybe a couple $100 more than what he makes at his job. So that was one of my really big goals. And it was when I was an emerald, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to surpass your income. And obviously he was all for it. He was like, yeah, do it. Like, I want you to do it. Go ahead and do it. So when I went double diamond, and I surpassed his income, he went down to part-time, which was more than I could have ever imagined. Like, not only do I now not have to go back to the salon ever, but now my kids get to have my husband home. You know, and now they get the best of both worlds. Like, I wanted to be there and I wanted to raise my kids. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My daughter was freaking out. But not only you know, am I able to be home with my kids, but now my husband is too. And, you know, that now it doesn't come down to him having to pick and choose what family events he can go to, because even if he doesn't go to work and he doesn't get paid for it, it doesn't matter because we're okay financially. So I want you guys to find your why. What's the reason? And type it in the chat so we could talk about it. What's your main reason for joining? Is it $200? Was it so you can get healthy and make some extra money? Was it, what was it? And I know that a lot of them might be similar, but a lot of them are going to be very different. Daniela's was time. She wanted time to be able to live her life. And mine wasn't so much time. It was that I wanted to be able to pay my bills, you know, and I didn't join this business to be quote unquote rich or to become rich. I wanted to just pay my bills before they were due. That was my main goal. Like, can I just make enough money to be able to pay my bills when they're due? Gabriella said, time with my kids, pay bills, enjoy life. That's another thing too. You know, if you guys have kids, I have 2 kids. Obviously, there's one right there. My son's with my mom. They went to a movie. They went to go see a movie after we went to church. But, you know, if you have kids, they grow up so fast. And one thing is that, you know, those moments, especially in the beginning, once they're gone, they're gone. And that was my thing. I had to watch my son. I worked full time at Ulta. I did hair for the salon at Ulta. And I had to watch my son, Anthony, ride his bike for the first time without training wheels through a video message that my husband sent me. And that's not a good feeling, you know, like thankfully Anthony was home with my husband because we had opposite schedules. So one of us always had him, but I want to be there. You know, I want to enjoy those moments. That's why we had him. That's why we tried so hard to have him, and we planned to have him because we wanted to, like, you know, enjoy this baby, this life that we created together. And I'm over here having to watch my son ride his bike for the first time through a video message. And back in the day, this was what, Anthony's 9. Quality on those phones were not good. So it wasn't even like I could really enjoy that video. But, you know, it's stuff like that. Artemisa says I needed to pay my electric bill, and now she wants time for freedom. So Artemisa, she's another leader on our team. She joined to pay her electric bill, which was kind of what I joined for too. And now she's chartered for Diamond, right, Daniela? Which is an extra $2,000 a month. So your goals will start to grow. My wife is to afford to take my kids places and to travel. That's another one too. We only took a vacation once a year, and it was around tax time because that was the only time that we could ever afford or the only time we ever had extra money to be able to even take a vacation. Normally we'd go to California, we'd maybe go to Disneyland, we'd go to the beach. Sometimes we would go back home. We're both from New Mexico, so sometimes we'd go back home and spend a week with our family. But other than that, you know, we didn't have vacations. And I remember the month after I went Double Diamond, I planned a 9-day vacation for us. Me, my husband, and our 2 kids. We went to Huntington Beach, and we stayed in this villa on the beach for 3 days. Then we went to Disneyland for 3 days, and then we went to Coronado Island for 3 days. And that was the first time we ever got to order room service, which, you know, for other people that might seem so, you know, little and small and dumb and, you know, something that people shouldn't be excited about. But we could barely afford the hotel, much less room service. That was the first time we ever got to like order room service, which we were like super excited about. Just to be able to do that. One year we took our kids to Disneyland 5 times in 1 year, which is insane. Last year we went to San Francisco. We spent 9 days in San Francisco, turned around the following week. We spent 9 days in San Diego. So being able to go on vacations is a huge, 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 huge thing that I know that not a lot of people get to do, because I was that person. And now I get to enjoy those things, but it came from, you know, stepping outside of my comfort zone and working this business. Because if it wasn't for me staying in this business, then obviously we would have never been able to enjoy any of those vacations at all. Daniela's in Vegas right now. You know, I swear she goes to Vegas like every other month, it seems like. But let's see what else. Honestly, right now I want to make an extra $200, $300, but I want to be able to travel more. That's another good one too. I feel like that one can relate to mine as well. I want to be able to spend more time with my kids and quit my job. That's another one too. Like I did not want to go back to work, and I love doing hair. I still love doing hair to date. But after I had kids, I just didn't love it as much anymore. You know, when something's taken away your time from the things that you love most in the world, which is your kids, like it's not fun anymore. And that's not where my heart was anymore. That's not where my passion was anymore. I wanted to be home. Someone else said my kids are slowly changing. My biggest dream is to take my daughter to every Disney park. That's my kind of person. We are a huge Disneyland family. Like maybe not we, me and my daughter love Disneyland. My husband and my son, they go because they want to entertain us, but we love Disneyland, love. So I can totally relate to that. Just being able to, you know, and I'm not saying like I joined to spoil the crap out of my kids, because I didn't. I feel like my kids are very grounded, but to be able to just do stuff when, you know, you want to do it, and not saying like that I want to spoil my kids' ride, but if they want to buy this cereal that's $2 more than the store brand, I want to be able to do that. If they want to go to the zoo, I want to be able to go to the zoo and buy the zoo tickets. If they want to go to the movies, take them to the movies. Nowadays, movies, it costs you like $40 to go for a family of 4. I'm like, what happened to when the movie tickets were like $6 each? That's not the case anymore. So just being able to
the popcorn.
Yeah, no. The movies, it's become so expensive.
$100.
For sure. It costs us literally $50 to $60 every time we go. And that's when we buy our own candy at Walgreens before we go. Someone said my wife would be to stay at home mom, or at least work part-time. That's something that's very, very doable. The thing that I want to get across to you guys is this business is very self-driven. We don't have a boss. We don't have a boss sitting there telling us that we have to do these things, that we have to complete this stuff by this date. It comes down to us and whether we want to do it or not, right? So I can tell Daniela, okay, when we first joined, we joined 2 months apart. Like, I didn't really know what I was doing. She didn't know what she was doing. It was kind of like the blind leading the blind. But we kind of just learned together, and we grew together, and we realized, okay, this is how we have to go executive. Okay, I need to find 2 people. You need to find 2 people. Let's go find those 2 people. And if I wanted to quit this business, the very first time that it entered my mind, my kid wouldn't have even arrived yet. I would have quit way before my kid arrived. I would have quit way before I sold my first wrap. I would have quit way before I welcomed my first little customer, much less well before I got my first paycheck, let alone my first 5-figure paycheck. Like, I would have quit a long time ago. And the crazy thing is that most people quit within their first 30 days of joining this business, which blows my mind, because people join this business with so many like huge goals. And I feel like it's just so easy for people to give up on those goals or feel like maybe they don't have what it takes to reach those goals, which I get. I felt that way before. I know Danielle has felt that way before, but it just takes reminding yourself why you joined. So someone else said to give my kids options for sports, band, school without money being a factor. That's another thing too. So my son didn't go to preschool because we couldn't afford it. It's $250 every single month. We couldn't afford that. This little girl over here was privileged enough to be able to go to preschool. And, something so simple as that people take for granted. Like, obviously, my husband had a good job. We couldn't pay our bills all the time with that job, but he made too much for my kids to be able to go to preschool for free. So that one was able to go to preschool. Just being able to put your kids in soccer, ballet, whatever it is, like, that's, especially if that's what they want to do, if they want to play football and you just can't afford it, that's not a good feeling. So that alone is an amazing driving force. When people tell that they're not interested right now, or they make a smart remark about what you're doing, remember why you're doing it. Who cares what other people say? If I would have quit the first time someone made fun of me or mocked me, I would not be sitting here today. And you guys would not be watching this video. Daniela would not be sitting here today. Most of our leaders wouldn't be sitting here today. You kind of have to grow a thick skin. And I'm a super sensitive person. I feel like I cry for everything. But when it comes to this business, you have to grow some thick skin and you have to remember why you're doing this. So at the end of the day, even though sometimes that little girl drives me up a wall and my son drives me up a wall, they deserve the world. And I want to make sure that I do everything in my power to give that to them, because that's what life is all about, is just loving the people that you love. And that's what I want to do. Is I don't want to spoil them rotten, but if they want to play soccer, if they want to join ballet, if they want to do this, if they want to do that, I want to be able to do that for them. So it just takes getting a thick skin and remembering your why. I'm going to let Danielle take over for a little bit. So I'm going to go talk to this little girl real quick.
Okay. All right. So I actually wanted to just go back and answer that question that they asked. They said, what advice do you have for an introvert like you? So I wouldn't, how do I say this? So I'm not a shy person. Well, kind of. I feel like I go live all the time and I talk to people all the time, like obviously distributors and stuff, but this took like 4 years of practice. Even when I was at my previous job, I was actually like, I didn't know how to hold a conversation with somebody. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, oh, how's your day? And that's where it ended. But so actually my advice, if you are a shy person, or a private person or reserved, so take it from me. When I first joined, I didn't have an Instagram and I had suspended my Facebook account. It wasn't canceled, but it was suspended. And when I joined this, I knew that the only way this was going to work is if I put myself out there. And I activated my Facebook again, and I had like 80 something friends, less than 90. It was like 87 or something like that. And it was all my friends, my close friends, and my family. Like I had my circle. I didn't care to have a bigger circle. I didn't care to have new friends. I just didn't. And so I knew that if I was going to be, if I wanted to do something with this business and actually take it somewhere, I knew that it wasn't about who I knew. It was about who I was getting to know, because at that point I had to get over what people were going to say, because people are going to say something regardless of where you work. You know what I'm saying? Like when I worked at AT&T for 50 to 60 hours a week, I had people in my ear all the time. You work way too much. You're always at work. Oh my God. Every time I see you, you're in your work's clothes. Or I'm sorry, not at work's, your AT&T clothes. Like it was, people always have something to say no matter where you work. Okay. You can work at Walmart and someone's going to tell you something. So I knew that I was going to have to let, people judging me go. I knew I was going to have to get over the fact that I didn't have enough friends on Facebook, or I don't know enough people. Again, there are billions of people in this world, over 2 billion on Facebook. You have access to so many people. And on Instagram, like I said, I didn't have an Instagram up until last January. I created one after we left conference, and I have over 1,600 over 1,600 followers, and mostly people I don't know. My business is filled with complete strangers, now friends. My customers are complete strangers, now friends. So it's not about who you know. Like if you're a shy person, I'm not telling you to go out there and put your business out there for everyone to know, because if you go to my Facebook or my Instagram, I don't look shy. I don't look private, but there are so many private things about me that I choose not to share. Like my friends know, my family knows, but at the end of the day, it's you can pick and choose what you want to share. Obviously, I'm having fun right now in Vegas. I'm going to talk about it and you're going to see it all over my Facebook and my Instagram and stuff. So pick and choose what you want to share, but just know that in order for you to be successful in this business, you're going to have to put yourself out there a little bit, step out of your comfort zone, because that's where the magic is going to happen, is outside of your comfort zone. If you think that you're going to become even if it wasn't in this business, if you think that you would become sorry, I got sidetracked. What was I going to say? What was I even saying? Sorry. So I got sidetracked. There was a message.
What?
Hold on a second. Lisa, can you put the phone on me? Someone just scared the crap out of me. Sorry, guys. I got sidetracked. So, what was I saying?
That even if you're in another job and you want to be successful.
Okay. I was like, dude, someone said something I couldn't remember. Okay. If you want to be successful in any business, you are going to have to like just step out of your comfort zone. I wanted to talk a little bit about my why real quick, just really, really quickly. Lisa is saying, your why is extremely, your why should make you cry. When I first joined, I didn't have a why either. It was kind of like, I want to join just to make some extra money. And I guess it would be nice if I can pay my car payment, because my car payment was like around $350 a month or something like that. And again, I didn't have a job. I thought I was going to, I clearly I didn't think this through when I quit. Okay. And I was just like, I need to make some extra money. And I started being able to make that fairly quickly. And how she says, like, once you start accomplishing your small goals that you've created for yourself, you're gonna make bigger goals, and your why is going to get bigger every time. It's going to always change. And my why is like bigger than, for me, is bigger than anything. And just if I talk about it, it makes me cry. And again, I don't share too much about it, but it's extremely personal to me. And I've been able to do so much because of this company. And your why should definitely be something that makes you cry. So if you feel like, wanting to be home with your kids is something that you want, then you can have that with this. If you want a family, I want a family. I'm working on a family. So to me, that's my why. I want to be able to, when I do have a family, is to be able to have me and Jaime home and have a family together, a family that we've been wanting for so long, instead of having to go back to work and have him go back to work, and this baby that we've been wanting now can be raised by a babysitter. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want that. So that's what I'm setting. That's my why. So
yeah, I know that your why is very personal to you too, and not a lot of people know, other than your close friends and family. And that's another thing too. You don't have to share everything. Daniela makes it very clear on her Facebook why she joined this business, and it's for freedom of time. Now her why is a lot bigger than that, and that's something she chooses not to share because it is very personal. But when it comes to making this business work, one thing I do want to say is it has to be, hold on, I'm messing myself up because I'm trying to,
I just feel like you need something to push you. And I feel like at the moment that you're discouraged, because don't get it twisted, there's moments where me and Lisa are just like, I can't right now.
Can I do this?
But your why needs to say, like, at the end of the day, like Lisa will say, she doesn't want to have to turn to her kids and say, you know what, you're not worth me working so hard for. Sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and go back to work. I'd rather not see you today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Lisa, that's important to Lisa, and that's important to a lot of people. I just feel like at the end of the day, the reason why you joined is what should push you throughout this entire time that you're in.
For sure. At the end of the day, you're going to come to bumps in the road. Trust me. Some of you guys might have already experienced those bumps. I've already talked to some of you guys where you're like, I'm already starting to feel discouraged. That's normal. We are in business for ourselves. So it's pretty much us, we're the ones that has to, like, we have to get our name out there. We have to deal with like the the backlash that comes with maybe doing a business like this or selling products, health and wellness products. You know what I mean? Like, you're this isn't going to be the first time. That's why your why is so important, because at the end of the day, someone can sit there and tell me that business doesn't work and my life shows otherwise. But even in the beginning, someone can sit there and tell me, oh, you're not going to be successful. Trust me, some of my friends who were my closest friends used to tell me stuff like this, like, you're going to fall on your face. That's not going to work. Why would you do something like that? Why don't you just go get a real job? Why don't you just go back to the salon? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And that can be very discouraging. That I've seen people quit because of that. And at the end of the day, my why was way too strong. My why was too strong to listen to what they had to say. At the end of the day, I saw success. I saw these people living the life that I could have never even dreamed of. I saw it with my very own eyes. And even though I wasn't living it yet, and even though I had only made a couple $100s with the business, even though when I was brand new, I didn't make a single penny yet, I still believed that I could do it. And I shared those success stories, and I shared, my vision. I would talk about all the time, like, I can't wait to be able to pay for all of my groceries with It Works Cash. I can't wait to be able to fill both of my gas tanks up instead of just putting $5 in mine and $5 in my husband's. Like, I can't wait. And I would talk about that because there's so many other people going through that. So when it comes to getting personal or personable, when it comes to your story, like, sometimes you are going to have to open up, but it's because I opened up about my struggle and about, the way that our family was living before, that people can relate to me and people can see themselves in me. They see what they're going through right now. They see that in the old me. And that's pretty much my main goal. I want to find as many moms that were feeling exactly the way that I was and get them out of that situation, because I know how it feels. I remember going to bed at night and just thinking to myself, like, this can't be it. This cannot be what the rest of our life is going to be like just struggling for the rest of our lives. I don't want that. I can't even imagine that being me living the rest of my life like that. Hold on, I'm going to read some of these comments really quick. I want to travel. We did that. Definitely. Okay. It is hard to get negativity, but that's also what pushes me to prove those people wrong. Exactly. Okay, Heather, I don't know where you're at. I'm sure you're on here somewhere, but I can tell you the best feeling in the whole entire world is being able to sit here 4 years later, and all those people that used to make fun of me, all those people that used to mock me and tell me that I was going to fall on my face, or that I wasn't going to make a penny, or that it was a scam, it was this, that, or the other. And they're literally in the same exact spot as they were 4 years ago. They're still working 40 to 50 hours a week. They're still on their Facebook constantly talking about how they want to buy this, but they have to wait the way that their bank account is set up, they have to wait till payday. Like, their life is still exactly the same. And sometimes people project their fears onto us. The people aren't used to people being so excited all the time, or people dreaming so big. Like, people don't like that. They don't. And it's sad. I feel like once people start to be successful, people around them get weird. They don't know how to perceive it. And most people just decide to kind of like mock them or make fun of them or put them down. And I can't tell you how many times Daniela has sent me screenshots of what like her old friends or, people have said about her. And she could have easily quit. She could have easily quit. Heather said, I also want to live comfortable and not paycheck to paycheck. That's another thing too. I was like, we were 25 at the time when I joined. No, 26. And I just kind of thought that by the time we were 26 and had 2 kids, we wouldn't be dealing with this anymore. We wouldn't still be living that paycheck to paycheck life. Like, I just envisioned something so different, and our life just, life happens. We went from being okay and paying our bills on time and having extra money to my son getting sick when I was 5 months pregnant, and that extra money that we did have went to medical bills. We had over $10,000 in medical debt after my son got sick. So when I tell you life can change at the drop of a hat, we went from being perfectly okay. And honestly, if this business would have fell into my lap when we were okay and paying our bills on time, I don't know if I would have ever, thought about doing it. I probably would have been like, no, I'm okay. I can't do sales. That's not for me. But God knew what he was doing, because this business came into my life at such a time where financially we were not good, and we needed this. So, God, if you're in this business, I don't know if you guys believe in God. I don't know what your beliefs are, but I'm a huge believer that you're here for a reason. You clicked submit for a reason. That post popped up on your news feed, or it was in the back of your mind for a while, for a reason. For a reason, 100%. And it's up to you whether you want to take that chance and run with it, or if you want to just continue to be scared. And trust me, it is scary. It's so scary. But at the end of the day, I was more scared of living paycheck to paycheck than anything else. I was more scared of living the rest of my life struggling like that, or I was more scared of having to go back to work than I was to just step out of my comfort zone and give this business a shot. And I mean a true shot, 100% true shot. 12 months worth of work, a real shot. Do you guys have any questions right now about anything? We can kind of go into like business building if you guys want to do that. If you guys want to talk about how to grow, your business on Facebook. If you want to talk about, hold on, when it comes to, Amber said, hold on. How do you respond to negative people on your posts or in your inbox? I'm a smart ass, okay? And I'm just a smart ass by nature. So normally when people say something super sarcastic or super, like a little jab on my Facebook, I'm super polite about it, which is good, because then, they feel bad, which they should. Like, who goes around telling people mean things? Like, that's not nice. Get off my Facebook. But, trust me, I've had so many posts. I'll post a before and after picture and people are like, that doesn't work. This is photoshopped. Even to my own pictures, I'm like, you can see my tattoos. They're exactly the same. Like, what are you talking about? But when it's friends and family, that's harder, because I feel like it just stings a little bit more, and it's like it digs a little deeper. At the end of the day, when people tell me, like, I had friends tell me like, why are you doing this? And they would like make fun of me, and I would just tell them like, I don't understand how you could make fun of me for wanting to do something that's going to better my children. Like, these kids, my kids, you love my kids. How could you be upset at anything that's going to try and make their life better? I try and make people feel guilty for being jerks, because it's just unnecessary, but my biggest thing is you're just going to have to get some thick skin and let it roll off your back. At the end of the day, these people are not showing up on the first of the month to pay your bills. They're just not. So why should their opinion ever matter? Who cares? It does sting. And trust me, I've cried about some stuff that was said to me by close friends and stuff. But here I am 4 years later, chartered for presidential, which is an average of $16,000 a month. Like, now my cries are happy tear cries, and people can say whatever they want about me. They can say whatever they want about this business. I'm living proof that it works. Danielle is living proof that it works. We have so many leaders. Adriana Conroy, she's another leader on our team, quit her manager position, and now she's a stay-at-home mom. Like, we're living proof that it works. I've lost 35 pounds on our products. That's living proof that it works. So, you kind of just have to get a thick skin. And at the end of the day, regardless of what other people say, the only 3 opinions that really matter to me are my son, my daughter, and my husband. And as long as they're on my side and they're backing me up every step of the way, who cares? Just let it roll off your back. Let me see. Hold on. I also want to live comfortable. Okay, I already read that. I'm sorry. When it comes to negative comments, it really depends on what the comment says. The easiest thing to do is delete the comment and keep moving on. You can always direct message the person directly and autocorrect. Oh no, message the person directly. That's what Amber said. Kindness kills people more than giving them exactly. Killing people with kindness. So that's pretty much what I do. I try and, my thing is, I would never comment on someone's post that they're, trying to better their life or anything, even before I joined this business, and try to like belittle them or make them feel stupid. Like, that's not what kind of world do we live in? But unfortunately, that is the kind of world that we live in. So my thing is just kill them with kindness. If you don't know who they are, delete, block, move on. I literally have people blocked from my Facebook because every post my friend, I remember, I was going to say her name, but not that any of you guys know her, but I had a friend, I went to high school with her. We were really, really close. Every single post that I would post, it wasn't, I don't want to say it was a negative comment, but it was a sarcastic little jab comment to everything, a before and after, a business opportunity post. And this was when I was fairly new. So it was super discouraging. At the end of the day, I messaged her and I was like, dude, if you can't support me, then maybe we just shouldn't be Facebook friends. And she was like, okay. So I unfriended her. Like, I'll do myself a favor, and now your negativity is not sucking the life out of me, and you can do yourself a favor, and now you don't have to worry about my posts. So sometimes it just takes getting those toxic people out of your life. Sometimes at the end of the day, you have to kind of look at these people that are saying this stuff to you, and if they're your friends and family, and if they're your true friends and family, they wouldn't say stuff like that to you, you know? So sometimes I feel like this business has removed a lot of toxic people from my life, which I'm so thankful for. And now I have so many amazing friends that I've met through this business that just give me life, and they give me good energy, and they excite me, and they are super positive. You know, we all have those friends that are life suckers, and, you know, spending 30 minutes with them, you literally feel drained because all they do is just negativity. And that stuff is so contagious. The biggest thing when it comes to this business is 80% mental, 20% what you're actually doing. So if you keep telling yourself that, you know, you keep filling your circle with people that are telling you that you can't do this, you're going to start thinking that yourself. You're going to start thinking, maybe I can't do this. Maybe they are right. Maybe maybe I'm not good enough to do this. But if you take those people out of your life, that negativity is all of a sudden gone, you know, and now you surround yourself with people who believe in you and people who you look up to and who have done what you're trying to do. Then all of a sudden, I feel like your mind frame changes 100%. And I know that you guys, if you've been in similar situations, maybe not with the business, but just with negative people in general, like, you can hang out with a friend, and if they're the most negative person, you literally are tired after hanging out with them. Like, I had friends and I was like, I need a nap after that. Like, that was just so mentally draining. And that's the thing. People like that are just negative all around. So chances are it's not just you that they're talking crap about. They're probably talking crap about anybody and everybody. And a lot of it comes to do with just self-reflection. It's their own insecurities that maybe they aren't brave enough to do something like that, or they don't have enough self-belief in themselves to do something like that. And who cares? My thing is, Heather said, I totally agree. You really found out who your friends are, for sure, and who supports you. You'll make a lot of new friends. Some of your good friends will become even closer, and some of your friends who you thought were friends won't end up being in your life anymore, which I'm perfectly fine with that. My thing is, I'd rather have, you know, a lot of good, genuine people who want me to succeed instead of people who are just talking about me behind my back, you know? So you guys have any other questions? You guys are going to come into contact with that a lot, especially with this business. I feel like the happier you are, this business makes you happy. Like, you're just happy. Like, I had about like 35 people here at my house the other night, and we were just laughing, hanging out, having a good time. We were obviously working, like, it was a training, but you just get so happy, you know? So happy. Okay, so this video is mainly about finding your why. We're going to do a lot more other videos when it comes, or about like how to find customers on Facebook, how to grow your Facebook. If you guys have questions, I want you guys to write them down, so when we have our other Zoom, you can put them in the chat and then we can talk about that. We're going to do about how to grow your business on social media. My friend Gabby builds her business. She's an Emerald. She's already chartered for Double Diamond, which is insane. She builds her business mainly person to person. She's the type of person that you just love to be around. Like, you know, the energy sucker, she's the complete opposite of that. She's like always happy. She just makes you feel like life is amazing at all times. So we'll talk to her about how she steps out of her comfort zone, how she talks to random people all the time and gets like amazing feedback. We'll talk to a lot of different people because obviously you guys might not relate to the way that I build my business or even to my story, but we have hundreds of people on this team that you will find someone to relate to and someone who will kind of push you and be your driving force to help you push through those things. Someone said this, that's my biggest thing is where to start. Well, number one on where to start is Training Academy. Obviously, when you first join, you should have already done your Training Academy. You should have logged into your eSuite and done your training videos there. Get yourself off of that commission hold because you want to get paid. Set up your auto ship. It doesn't have to run, but set it up for the 25th of July so that when you get your first 4 loyal customers, you'll get your product credit. If your auto ship isn't set up and you're not commission qualified, you won't get that $100 in free stuff. That's free stuff. Free products, free shirts, free gear, whatever you want to buy. And after that, I'm sure that your sponsor, if this hasn't happened and your sponsor's brand new, message me. I will help you. I will help you get started. I give my newbies a sample post. So like a post of what I want them to say along with a picture, kind of like introducing themselves to their friends and family as a business owner, as a It Works distributor. That would be the first thing to do. After that, we would go through posting. What do you want to talk about? How are you going to get your loyal customers? Let's go through that. Let's talk about what products you think would be easy for you to sell, like your demographic. I used to do hair. So a lot of my friends are super vain, which sounds bad, but they are. Like, they want to look good. They want their hair to look good. They want their skin to look good. So I sell a lot of hair, skin, and nails. I sell a lot of wraps. I sell a lot of fat fighters. So based off of your demographic, we can go from there. Like, do you have a lot of mom friends? Like, then let's push the wraps. Do you have a lot of friends who work out? Let's talk about New You. Let's talk about our shake. Like, we have so many different products for so many different people. So if you guys don't know what to do, like right now you're sitting here stumped, like, I want to do this business. I want to be successful, but I don't know where to start. Message me. If your sponsor's brand new, it's okay. They probably don't know what they're doing either. So hit me with the 3-way message. Like, we'll go through this together. I'm sure like you guys have higher up sponsors. Like, it doesn't have to be me. If you don't want to message me, you can message Daniela, you can message Jen, you can message the other Jen Garcia, Jen Ramirez. We have 2 Jens on here. You could message, we have so many amazing leaders, but I can guarantee you that I get so many compliments from our uplines, like our ambassador uplines, on how they love our team. And I feel like it's just because we genuinely love each other and we genuinely want each other to succeed. And not only are we business partners, but we're friends. A lot of us see each other weekly and we talk all the time. Like, you kind of just joined like a huge, like, little family, So if you have bad days where you want to rant and rave on Facebook, don't post it on Facebook. Message me. We could talk about it together because I can guarantee I'm probably gone through the same thing that you're going through right now. You kind of want to keep your Facebook very clean and attractive and happy. Happy is my biggest thing. And I don't want to say that I'm not trying to say like you have to be like fake happy, but you want your Facebook to be an inspiration for others, because that's pretty much what you're going to turn into. You're going to be someone who other people want to inspire to be like, I wish I was as brave as her. She joined this business a couple months ago and now she's making $400, $500, $600, $1,000. Like, you are going to be someone's inspiration, which sounds crazy now, but that's pretty much what's going to happen. They're going to see themselves in you. And if you're negative every single day and if you're posting crazy crap every day, chances are that's going to turn a lot of people off, which that's my thing. I do have a lot of opinions about politics and about the law and stuff like that, but I don't post that on my Facebook because I would never, ever want to offend anybody at all. I'll message Danielle and talk to her about it. I'll talk to my husband about it. But there was so much information thrown at me from the very beginning that it was a bit overwhelming. Okay, yeah, which is understandable. You guys joined at such a crazy time. I want to say on an average month, we have about 20 new people. We had 550 new people. So for us as leaders, we were very overwhelmed, I guess you could say. Like,
in 6 days,
yeah,
not 1 month.
In 6 days. So, as your guys' leader, my biggest thing was, okay, how do I help all of these people as much as possible? And normally, if I'll welcome 3 to 4 people a month, right? I can easily take a day, set aside, Zoom chat with them, FaceTime with them, talk to them on the phone, and kind of ease into being a distributor when it's like, I think I enrolled 45 people myself. Like it was it was very, very, very overwhelming. So if you guys could just please, please, please be patient with us. We are trying our hardest. And if you are overwhelmed, message me. We can talk through that. We can FaceTime if that makes you feel more comfortable. I'm a visual person, so always seeing someone or seeing what we're talking about is always easier for me than just texting it or over the phone. Another thing too, if you guys are brand new, we want to set up your launch party. So if you're local to your sponsors, if I enrolled you and you guys are here in Arizona or Phoenix, let's set up your launch party. That's the first thing we want to do. We want to get you as many loyal customers as possible. We want to sell the wraps that you have. We want to see if we can get you some distributors on your team. If you are in a different state, let's set up an online party. It's literally the easiest thing ever. I do everything for you. Your sponsor will do everything for you. But launch parties are super, super, super important. It's just kind of like another way of like getting your business out there and telling people what you do. So if you guys have any questions about anything that we went over today, message me, message Daniela. If your sponsor is Daniela, message Daniela, message me. It doesn't matter. We're all here to help. So I know that it can be very overwhelming, especially you guys are so brand new. And the last 2 weeks have been really, really crazy and really, really hectic. But if you guys are serious about this and you guys really, really want to do this, and I'm not saying that you have to have like the biggest goals in order for you to be serious about it. If you are serious that you want to make $200, you want to make $500, whatever it may be, message us and we'll help you do that. My biggest thing is you just have to be coachable. So my sponsor would tell me, do this, do that, do this. And I would do this, do that, do this, because she was obviously successful. That's where I wanted to be. So I just did it. Being coachable is one of the main things. So, I always took it as, okay, this girl knows what she's doing. Obviously, if I want to get to where she's at, oh my gosh, crazy. I want to get to where she's at. I have to kind of like mimic her in a way. You know what I mean? I always tell people it's okay to be a copycat as long as you're following the right cat. And that's totally the case with this business. It just takes being coachable and being open to what your sponsor's telling you. Sorry. I have 4 alarms that go off every single day to remind me to post because I have like the worst ADHD, so I can't remember that on my own. So that's another thing too. If you guys don't have, if you guys are super busy or you say like you don't have time, alarms save me every time. I have this planner too. Anytime someone wants to join as a loyal customer or something and they can't do it today, or they say, oh, I'll do it this day, that day, or the other, they go in here, name product that they want. And on that day, I follow up with them. They don't join that day, I get another date. Okay, well, what day next week or what day the week after? I write it down, same thing. You need a system, I have the worst memory of probably anybody on this team. And this is like my saving grace. If I didn't have this, I would be completely lost. I have all of my potentials on here, my potential loyal customers, my potential distributors. This list grows every single month. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger because I want my business to grow every single month. I want my business to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But we'll have a whole nother Zoom dedicated to that. If you guys have any questions, we've already been on here for an hour, which normally I like to keep it like 60 minutes and under, just because we have lives. I want you guys to get on with your day. So if you guys have any questions, if they have had, okay, Heather, I'm gonna have you message me because we can talk about that too. Because I've run into people who have had bad experiences, or they tried to wrap and it didn't work. And normally when I troubleshoot with them and I ask them like, well, how did you wrap? 100% of the time it's because they did it wrong. They weren't given the right instructions and they literally completely did the wrap wrong. So message me and we'll talk about that if you want to message me on Facebook. But if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and message me, message Daniela, message your sponsor. We're always here to help. And I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.